Hey everybody, it's Megan Fox. I'm talking today about episode 1 of The Gilded Age on HBO Max, created by Julian Fellows and Sonia Warfield. And Julian Fellows is one of my favorite I don't know if he writes or directs or does both, but he's a terrific creator. He made Downton Abbey, and of course, Downton Abbey was completely, you know, breathtaking in every way. I loved it. I love period dramas. And I love Julian Fellows, so I had, a lot of high hopes for this show. But I got a little frustrated that Cynthia Nixon is in it, and we're gonna have to watch her. The first thing I'll say is that Cynthia Nixon plays Aunt Ada, and she is sisters with someone named Aunt Agnes, played by Christine Baranski. And the two of them are old money in New York. The story is that Aunt Agnes doesn't like outsiders and refuses to allow the family to associate with the new money that's coming into New York. They just want to associate with the old money, and so there's like this whole prejudicial thing going on. Anyway, the first thing I noticed about Cynthia Nixon's acting is that it's pretty similar to what we've seen with her bad acting and Just Like That. She has a hard time getting out of herself and into a character, I think. And I don't know if it's that this is because she's been out of acting for so long and now all of a sudden, I don't know, she needs some acting lessons. I didn't think that her portrayal of this character was very convincing. I have a hard time seeing a character and not Cynthia Nixon, especially when she's walking. So you guys know that Cynthia Nixon is when she played Miranda in Sex and the City, she always had that kind of boyish, awkward walk. And here she is wearing these big gowns, with a lot of skirts, and you do have to learn how to walk in those. And you can tell that she is not used to walking in anything but pants. And she's like getting in front of the skirt, and she kind of walks kind of hunched over with like her arms kind of stiff. And she just looks extremely uncomfortable. And that was kind of took me out of it. Now this show definitely has, beautiful sets. Look at that chandelier. Oh my goodness, the chandelier. So this is the house across the street. It's a brand new house just being built by new money. And of course, Agnes is, devastated that these new money people, they're so gauche. They're moving across the street. She doesn't like that. And the sets do not disappoint. They really do not disappoint. The fashions do not disappoint. Look at these dresses. This is the next door neighbor. She's her name is Gladys Russell. I love this dress. Everything they put her in is amazing. The bustles are just to die for. They had just built their dream house. Her husband is a railroad magnate, so they have a lot of money. They're like the Rockefellers, But she's having trouble fitting into society because the society in New York doesn't like new money. And so that's the setup of the story, is that there's going to be this conflict between Gladys Russell and Aunt Agnes. So we get like these beautiful scenes of this house. So now they introduce the character of Marion Brooke. Marion is the niece of Aunt Ada and Aunt Agnes, and her father has just died, their brother, and there's some rift between them, and so she has to come and live with them. So she is at the train station, and she's going to come and live with her aunt that she doesn't know, and she gets mugged. And this girl, Peggy Scott, is at the train station. Oh, one of the things I love about Julian Fellows, by the way, are these wide sweeping camera angles of beautiful landscapes. So I took a screenshot of that because I liked it. But Peggy, who was the black girl there, said she was traveling back to see her parents in Brooklyn, and she gives Marion the money for the train ride, and the two of them strike up an unlikely friendship. And I took a few screenshots of this beautiful house that Gladys lives in, and look at the bustle on this dress. I couldn't get a great picture of it, but the bustles are amazing. It's worth watching the show just to look at Gladys Russell's bustles. Oh, that rhymes. Gladys Russell's bustles. are pretty amazing. But I will say that by this time, I wasn't too taken by the story. I mean, I was kind of, but you're getting into it. This is her very handsome son. I don't know his name yet, and he's going off somewhere, but he comes back later. The story hasn't grabbed me like Downton Abbey did. I mean, Downton Abbey, I just feel like it was great from day one. So they're traveling now to see the aunt. I do like these, again, Julian Fellows likes to do these wide shots of, beautiful landscape, and that was pretty ominous with the dark clouds and there's lightning later. Here comes the fairy to get them. This is Gladys's daughter, who she will not allow out in society. More neat camera angles, I thought. Look at the chandelier. I mean, wow. I mean, you cannot get better than these sets. These sets are fantastic. And Gladys Russell always looks amazing. She is just a beautiful woman. So finally, Marion and Peggy end up coming to the aunt's house because Peggy gets stranded in the rain, and Marion wants to do her a good turn too because she rescued her. So she brings her home. And of course, that is interesting because, the family, you'd think they're going to react badly, but they don't. And Peggy is invited to stay at the house until she can catch the next ferry to her home. Aunt Agnes is snotty, but she seems pretty kind. Aunt Ada is a over actor. Okay, and I think that's a Cynthia Nixon problem. As you can see in these, I was trying to get a screenshot of her doing this weird cackling. So they're talking to Peggy, and because Aunt Agnes says she will not let someone sleep in her house who she hasn't met. So they call Peggy into the drawing room and they are talking to her about her background. And it turns out that she went to this school it was called the Boston School for Colored People, I think is what she said it was. And Ada and Agnes both, are like, oh, we're patrons of that school. We know that school. And then Ada gets wildly, like this wild, weird laughter about how much she liked the musicals at this place. And, oh, were you a part of that? And then she's like, there's nothing funny going on, and I can't figure out why she's laughing so much. And again, it's like watching Miranda in Just Like That, where she's, overacting and yelling and like acting is not yelling. Acting is not laughing maniacally. I don't know where this laughter came from. She's laughing after being told that Peggy went to the school that they like. I don't know what this reaction is or why the director allowed it. It was bizarre. All right, so the guy here on the left, his name is Bannister. He's the butler. I already love him. There's this whole upstairs, downstairs thing that Downton Abbey had, and the people downstairs always seem more interesting to me than the people upstairs. The housekeeper, Bannister, is just such a good-looking man for this role with that awesome beard. I just love looking at him. I think he's amazing, and he already has a lot of warmth on the screen. I can already tell I'm going to like this character. He's probably the first character in the show where I sat up and paid attention. So maybe he'll carry it. I don't know. Maybe it will get better. Him and the woman who plays Gladys Russell, I say, do the best job in this so far. I'm not too impressed with everybody else, but Bannister is great. He's very warm. He's kind of funny and, very, very proper. Love him. I like him a lot. So Peggy then comes to Aunt Agnes and the next day, and she seems reluctant to go home. And she offers to help Agnes with her correspondence, which Agnes says is overwhelming her. And Agnes ends up asking to hire her because she's such a good secretary and she wants to keep her on and keep her staying at the house. And she says absolutely she will. But Agnes tells her she needs to contact her family and tell them where she is because she doesn't want anyone worrying. Gladys Russell, again, beautiful gowns, just incredible fashion. They keep putting Cynthia Nixon in the ugliest fashions. So everyone else, which this makes me laugh, and I don't know why, because I really want her to pay for what she's done to Anne Just Like That, and this is doing it for me. Like everyone else in the show gets these incredible gowns, and Ada is wearing something that looks like a marching band outfit. I love it. I love it. That's what she deserves. And so there's these beautiful sets, of course, gorgeous water shots and lawn parties, and I don't know who this is. They keep introducing characters. The cast in this is absolutely huge, and I don't know who they are. So this is your token gay character. He's the nephew of Aunt Agnes and Aunt Ada, and he's a real jerk, so I don't really care about his storyline. Here's the difference between a good gay plot and a one I don't care about that feels like a token thing is that like in Downton Abbey, for instance, Thomas, the under butler, Thomas had this incredible storyline, right? He's a obviously closeted because it was against the law, and you feel for him. I mean, it is just like tearing him apart inside, and that character was so well developed. Thomas was such a jerk, and then you come to figure out why he was such a jerk, because he was tortured, and then, you come to actually care for this guy, and maybe that's what Julian's trying to do with this guy, but I don't know. He's so unlikable. Thomas always had something about him that was even though he was evil, you kinda were like, you know, "You're a bad bitch," and you liked him, and yet this guy and I still don't know his name, I'm sorry. He's just a snob. He's just a snob, and he's rude, and I don't know why I should care about him, and it turns out that he's the gay one in the show. This I don't know the actress's name, but, um, plays Peggy Scott's mother. I love her hair, I love the bonnet, love everything about this. So Peggy goes to visit her mother, and you can tell there's some underlying stuff going on with her family, and they have a sweet exchange, mom's trying to talk her daughter. We find out in that scene that Peggy is a writer and her father was, not happy with her trying to go after her career as an author, and so there's some rift there. But mom loves her daughter and gives her money, and it's a sweet scene, and they're also, interestingly enough, in this restaurant that's, totally segregated. It's all, Black patrons, and it's kind of a really beautiful scene with every character is, in these different costumes, these really beautiful things. It's just a fun it's a neat thing to see, I think, and then also at the same time does a good job without beating you over the head with it, does a good job showing that, yeah, this is a very segregated society, right? And but it isn't treated like it I don't know, it's not used like a battering ram, so I appreciated that. I liked the set, the scene was really good, and then, so this is Lady Russell's or is she a lady? I don't know. She's, Gladys Russell's daughter who she won't let come out. She won't let her go to any parties or anything because she is determined she's gonna be a success in New York before that happens. When she has her coming out ball, she wants it to be, you know, spectacular and everyone show up, but right now she's still dealing with being rejected. So they go to this fundraising thing or charity thing that all these ladies used to do, and she's trying to basically buy her way in. And the old New Yorkers are like, "It's never gonna happen," basically. So they're not being very nice. Now, I finally figured out I saw in the credits that Jean Triplehorn was in this show, and I watched the whole show and never saw her. There she is. That's Jean Triplehorn. She is look at that hat. I mean, is that something or what? She doesn't have any speaking lines in this, but they're setting it up that this is someone we're gonna wanna know about. She's someone of, that people talk about. We're not sure why yet. This hat is fabulous. I mean, come on. It's fantastic, and it's good to see Jean. I haven't seen Jean Triplehorn in a very long time, so that's interesting. Now, I don't know, this is a terrible screenshot, and I'm sorry that it's not better. I tried to get this dress. I love this dress. I still don't know who this character is. She's just like another, debutante or something in New York from one of the families that I don't know yet, and this dress, this black and white dress with the stripes down the back, the corseted thing with the bows and the sheer puffy sleeves, I'm, like, dying over this dress. This dress is amazing, and look, here's another angle. Just gorgeous. And again, Gladys Russell with her fashions never disappoints. Look at this dress. I mean, her daughter too is always well dressed. Look at this. Look at the bustle on that thing. I mean, Ah, I love it. Oh, there's this little subplot of this dog that they have. Here's this dog named Pumpkin. I already hate Pumpkin. Pumpkin already got almost run over by a cart or something, and I've been hoping ever since that, or wishing that it had been successful, because Pumpkin is an asshole. And I don't know why Marion seems to just love this dog so much. I just hate Pumpkin already. Pumpkin's just annoying. And there's not a whole lot of great dialogue. This is the thing that maybe bothered me about the Pumpkin thing. It's like Agnes is like, "Why do you have to take that dog on the dog should be running next to the carriage, not in the carriage." And Marion's like, "Oh, well, we can make an exception for Pumpkin." Like, why do I care about Pumpkin? I really don't care about Pumpkin at all. Can we have some better dialogue? I feel like this dialogue is just it's going nowhere. And Pumpkin's annoying, you know? Don't be an asshole, Pumpkin. So far, not impressed with Pumpkin. All right, so, um, more bad fashions for Aunt Ada, which I think is funny. Look at Gladys Russell. I mean, come on. She has the most amazing, and this thing has a train that I did not get a screenshot of that goes down the stairs. It's all the way out behind her with big roses on it. It is so gorgeous. So she's decided she's going to have a walk-in. It's not a party. It's like an app. It is a party, but it's more of an informal thing. And the chef has been preparing lobster salad and all kinds of like incredible things. And she's invited people, like everyone in town, to come and look at her brand new beautiful house. And she thinks that they won't be able to resist because the house is so alluring. And so she's asked them to come. So she's ready for this. And then there's this like Cinderella kind of moment that I really love, where Marion can't go if Ada and Agnes knew she wanted to go to the walk-in across the street. They wouldn't let her go. And so she sneaks out with the help of Peggy in and she goes across the street. Well, she's wearing a blue coat. You can't see it here, but I have more pictures later. Wearing this beautiful blue coat. It's got a real Cinderella feel. And then the dress underneath, definite Cinderella vibe with her hair, blonde hair. It's just this whole Cinderella feel. I love it with the footman and her running across the street. You know, it's lovely. The dress is really great. She goes over, she tries to be polite, but she knows, Gladys knows. See, there's the coat. Isn't it great? Gladys knows that she is there without her aunt's permission, and so she's insulted, and no one else shows up. Just a smattering of people show up, and all this food goes to waste. And Gladys is so sad and, you know, miserable and crying, and she vows that these people are going to pay, and that's how it basically ends. Is that she vows that she is going to become, you know, they're not going to be able to ignore her for very long. And she's going to rise through those ranks. And I bet she probably will. I like the character of Gladys Russell. I like the character of Peggy Scott. I think she's very interesting, and I can't wait to see what she's going to do. Agnes and Ada. Agnes I like. Agnes, of course, is the great Christine Baranski, and she's a wonderful actress. I think they chose the wrong person for Aunt Ada. I think Cynthia Nixon is very stiff, and I think her overacting is really going to hurt this show. But so far, I mean, for a first episode, it didn't. It's no Downton Abbey, I'll put it that way, but it is worth it for the fashions. And, you know, check it out and let me know what you thought of it. Let me know if you liked it. But I found it a little stilted, a little hard to follow. Not hard to follow, but like just kind of boring. Other than the fashions and stuff. So, but let's hope that this is just an episode 1 kind of thing, and that we're going to get to know these characters and it's going to get better. So that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you go and watch it and let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.